Hello and welcome.
Good evening.
My name is Alex and this is the Gameweek 9 review and of course Gameweek 10 team selection video. I dropped a little bit of rank, which was expected, but I'm really happy to stay within 200,000 and I didn't really expect much from this Gameweek given how poorly my midfield performed. I definitely garnered a lot of points from my defense and my pawns, which were Reijnders and Answer, didn't deliver anything, and it turns out that Sunderland is a team that needs to be reckoned with, and I may even get a striker from Sunderland in Gameweek 12. So the idea is that I already made one transfer, and I'm going to be going over the players that I will want to pick, but if you want to see a detailed breakdown of the comparison of the player data for Gameweek 10 till Gameweek 15, I made it in my previous video, so it's not going to be a heavy data-driven video, although I will be showing you some of the heat maps and stats of the players that I might be bringing in the game week number 12 and already brought in one new player. This game week was very poor. Gabriel and Timber still continue delivering. It's unfortunate that my midfield is just doing nothing for me, and my captaincy blank, I didn't really expect that to happen, but given how the game developed, Aston Villa definitely deserved points in that game. And Haaland scored a goal, but a different player was in offside position, so it didn't count. Reijnders was a big disappointment. Like, I couldn't even imagine that Sunderland can beat Chelsea away. And yeah, I really was hoping for a very cagey game. And even though Chelsea opened the scoring, they somehow lost the game. Enzo was one of the best players on the pitch, though. And I'm not going to be regretting picking triple Chelsea. I may just get rid of Joao Pedro in Gameweek 12, and he will be a sacrificial lamb in order to improve my midfield. Another unexpected result is, of course, Everton losing 0-3 to Tottenham at home, and it feels like Tottenham is picking up some form. But let's take a look at the players that I will be eyeing and already picked for my team. So as you can see, Welbeck is the striker that I might pick up depending on my other transfers. In general, it's a very cheap striker, so you can afford him. Almost everyone can afford him. His position is pretty good. In terms of his stats, you can tell that he's mostly goal-oriented. Unfortunately, it looks like he's not on penalties, but even without that, he has a lot of touches in the box, and this is what matters. I think it's a nice option, but I brought in already a different player, and I brought him before Reijnders dropped in price. So Reijnders was the sacrifice, and Minteh is the player, and he has fantastic data. You can tell on the heat map that the positioning that he takes up is very attacking, and he's a midfielder. And he didn't really score much. He assisted more. Didn't really, shine this season. But it feels like Brighton are picking up pace. And at home, they are really good side and very difficult to break down. Like you've seen, Newcastle lost to them the other day, and they're playing Leeds at home. So I really needed someone from Brighton for that fixture, and their foreseeable fixtures are great as well. In terms of XG, of course, he garnered a little bit less. He played a little bit less minutes, I think, compared to Welbeck, but it's a midfielder, and if he scores the goal, it's a lot of bonus points guaranteed. Another player that most people are talking about right now, and Manchester United have managed to turn things around, and Mbeumo is a player that most likely will enter my team. I don't really care about AFCON. I think I can get him for a good run of 4 or 5 games. Then I will have 5 transfers to get rid of the players that will not be playing after, I think, Gameweek 15, Gameweek 16, and or Gameweek 17 actually. And by that time, I may just even maybe bench him and play someone else. I don't even know, but it's just very appealing that Man United have decent fixtures ahead of them. And in Gameweek 12, I think they're playing Everton at home. So Mbeumo, I think, is a better pick compared to Bruno Fernandes, given that he is playing deeper. And Mbeumo is not on penalties, of course, but it's not like Man United getting a lot of penalties, and when they get them, Bruno is missing them. So Mbeumo is cheaper, and Mbeumo is on the ends of the attacks. As you can tell, he scored 4 goals, assisted once, great stats, one of the best non-penalty XG player in the Premier League right now, involved player. And in order to get him, I may need to give up the idea of getting Gakpo, but there is another catch and another striker that I made sacrifice. Of course, sacrifice will be made. Joao Pedro will be eaten out of my team. Cody Gakpo was a player that I had in my fantasy. He didn't really deliver much for me. I needed to get rid of him in order to facilitate double Arsenal defense. And the substitute, in my opinion, was pretty decent. It was Anthony Gordon. And it's just like Gordon isn't playing 90 minutes anymore. And he didn't score a single goal in the Premier League. So it feels like that was a slight mistake because Gakpo is scoring almost every game. His positioning is great. He is a midfielder. Again, scored goal, more points. He already scored 3 goals, assisted twice. It feels like he's nailed. There is no real competition. There is always like an injury for one of the attackers, either Isak or Ekitike, and they are competing for the same position. It feels like Gakpo is the most nailed attacker after Salah. There is a conversation to get Slavozai maybe, but I'm good with that. Just like Liverpool's fixtures are pretty decent starting from Game Week 12. And in case if I want to get both Mbeumo and Gakpo, I may need to downgrade my Joao Pedro to Isidor, and then downgrade wouldn't necessarily be a correct word because he scored more goals than Joao Pedro, playing for a weaker side like Sunderland. So this could be an upgrade in a way, and also because of his price, I have enough in the bank. I think I have like a little bit of surplus in order to facilitate these moves. It's going to be three transfers. I may consider a -4 in Game Week 12 if needed. But I think bench boost is on the horizon. I think I'm playing that in Game Week 11. And after that, I may just downgrade one of my heavy hitters in order to have more money to operate in the future. Let's take a look at the team that I'm picking for Game Week number 10. And in goal, we have Petrovic. Unfortunately, it's a tough fixture. Most likely, he's considering not getting me a clean sheet. But he may be getting some save points because they're playing Man City away. Man City are a little bit pissed at after the defeat, and they may need, of course, to recover in front of their home support. In defense, I have Gabriel and Timber against Burnley away. Almost guaranteed clean sheet, and I had an idea of maybe captaining Gabriel. It may happen, but Haaland against Bournemouth is probably gonna be my captain. I may just go like a little bit of a wild differential, so it's going to be Gabriel captain then against Burnley. I don't feel like Burnley have the facilities to score a goal, and it's a clean sheet plus maybe some defensive contribution points. That's pretty much Haaland needs to score 2 goals to outscore Gabriel in that case. Timber, I mean, it's a differential at some point, but he's rising in price almost every week, and it feels like he's not going to be differential anytime soon. Munoz is another defender that many people are getting right now. I've seen like it's just like they're playing Brentford, who are also firing all cylinders, and it feels like this can be a game with both teams to score. Munoz may not keep a clean sheet, but just because of that attacking prowess and his positioning on the pitch, he assisted already a few times, scored a goal himself. I just cannot bench him, and it's just a fixture that you never know it. They can even hold a clean sheet. In midfield, I have Anso against Tottenham, a dodgy fixture. Last time they went to the Tottenham Stadium, I feel like it was like a very like a smashing defeat, but it was Ange's Tottenham. Now it is Thomas Frank's Tottenham, and the way they made Everton look like a championship team away, it feels like Tottenham are still a side to be reckoned with, and it feels like Aston Villa are just improving. That's why Tottenham couldn't beat Aston Villa. They lost to Aston Villa at home. So I feel like it's going to be a tough fixture for Chelsea. If they couldn't beat Sunderland at home, away at Tottenham could be very difficult. But I just don't really have any choice. Semenyo against Man City. Now, Man City can concede in that fixture. And if they concede, Semenyo may be involved. So I hope that Semenyo is providing some points. Besides, he's on penalty, so there is no need to bench him. Gordon against West Ham. This could be probably the last game that I give Gordon in my team. I may just give him one more week when I'm going to be bench boosting, but the fixtures for Newcastle aren't really that great. They play Burnley at some point in Game Week 15, I believe. That's where you probably at home as well, I think, and that's where probably want to have some Newcastle attackers. But just because Gordon, even though he's on penalties, just getting benched a lot, I just can't trust him. But they're playing West Ham, a team that is just losing, like it feels like they're relegation bound. So I just cannot bench him. Minteh, Yankuba Minteh is my new player, so Reijnders, was yeeted out of my team. It just feels like Reijnders is just playing now the role that Rodri is supposed to be playing, where he is not really, I don't know, it's not his favorite position, it feels like, and he receives yellow cards, doesn't get any DEFCON points, not providing any assists or goals like it used to be at the start of the season. So it feels like I just got rid of him before the price fall, so I had exact amount to get Yankuba Minteh, and I'm really happy about this transfer. So I have a representation of Brighton in my team. I don't want to put all of my eggs in one basket, so Yankuba Minteh could be a little bit of a differential. And in attack we have Erling Haaland, who is the captain, which I'm just like gonna be looking at the squads. I want to see the predicted lineups. If Rodri is not recovering and it's Reijnders and I don't know, John Stones or Bernardo Silva in the middle, it could be a very tough game for Man City at home. They still are predicted to win, but I really don't think that Haaland is just a one standout captain when you have Gabriel. In fact, captain and defender could be a very wise decision. Then João Pedro, giving him one last dance. I think I'm just eating him anyway next week. Downgrading him either to Isidor or to Welbeck, depending on how well Brighton will perform against Leeds, if they will continue in the same fashion. And of course, Jean-Philippe Mateta, a player that I had for a while, and many people are actually sacrificing, like taking hits to get him in their team. He's on penalties, just scored a hat-trick the other week, and it feels like they have great fixtures too, so some people would even say that tripling up on Crystal Palace is a good idea. So one of the players that I omitted would be Sarr, and he can become my other midfielder. And on the bench you have Dubravka, Reece James, whom I cannot trust away at Tottenham, Grealish away at Sunderland. You would say Everton players, like if I had NDA, I would probably play him just because of that penalty appeal. It looks like he's on penalties. Grealish, on the other hand, I just feel like this is one of those games that can end 0-0 or it's just not a high-scoring game. And Everton, I was so disappointed with their performance against Tottenham. I was like really sure, I mean, I was adamant that it's going to be at least a draw for Everton and Grealish can be providing an assist in that game, but nothing happened, nothing in close. And of course, Senesi as a defender against Man City, I cannot double on a Bournemouth defense in such a tough fixture. So that would be the team selection. Hopefully, I'm keeping myself in the top 200k. I don't believe that this team is differential enough to propel my rank, but to keep it afloat, I think there is no really like risk threats to my team in this one. I think the players that I'm missing, maybe a third Palace asset, maybe Saka as well, because it's a Burnley fixture. Gyökeres, many people are getting rid of him. In terms of the midfield, I feel like I can of course have Sarr, and I just don't really think that Mbeumo also plays away, so it feels like it's a alright team to just maintain the rank and then improve later on. That's my team selection. Let me know, how did you fare this game week? Did you improve your rank? It was a pretty terrible rank for me, 43 points. My rank just halved by, I mean, but it's still nice. I'm in 6-digit numbers, so it's better than I expected. I hope you enjoyed this video. Drop a like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Peace.